Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover Podcast, where we raise the bar and lower the tone on all things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 11th of April. Game week 30 is all said and done, and we've got a full week ahead of us before we have to deal with game week 31, which is a nice rarity for podcasters these days. But here to help me discuss all things FPL, my podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How are you getting on, my friend?
I'm getting on great, and as always, it's good to be back, Ger, and happy hump day to all the morning listeners on their commute to work, and to the millions and millions watching on YouTube at home. It's been a long weekend and a short week ahead, and I hope everyone had.
Yeah, actually, Easter was pretty decent here. Same old, same old. How did you get on up north?
Yeah, get on the usual influxion of the Nordies into the wee town, where they bring beautiful business in there, but leave the shelves empty from bread and milk and eggs.
Selfish.
For the rest of us.
Selfish. What more? Between that now and not obeying the speed limits, like, what else are you going to do?
Oh, Jesus, don't get me started.
Hopefully you had a stacked shelf in game week 30. How did the FPL go?
The FPL went okay. It was fine. A small red arrow here. I think the smallest red arrow I've ever had, of 900 or something like that. But I had to make a -4 because I had to bring Haaland back, and I got rid of Tony, and to help get that move for Haaland, I also had to get rid of one of my midfielders. So it was Cheerio McAllister. I was sad to see him go, but I feel that me and McAllister had some good times together. And looking at his fixtures, he had 2 difficult fixtures. He has a blank. So I thought, good luck to you, McAllister. And then came Andre, who's got some nice fixtures and was cheap at half the price. Anyway, right move to bring Haaland back. Captained him to his 24 points. So, and of course, we all really want to have him back anyway going forward. Other than that, though, there wasn't any... Oh, the forward line. Kane, 9 points. Watkins, the form he's in, 7 points. Midfield was Dyer, Rashford, 6. Fernandes, who's been a letdown. And I keep kicking myself with that transfer. I'm like, I should have known when Casemiro was gone that he was going to maybe play that a little bit deeper. But anyway, Chilwell, 0. Another fire for me to look at and for us to talk about today. I went with the double Newcastle defence, Botman and Trippier. I left Henry on the bench, who had 5. And Kepa, who I was shitting my pants about. I thought with Lampard back, he surely wouldn't dare bring back Mendy, but no. And that was it. 58 points, 54 all out, and a small red arrow. Ger, what about yourself?
Yeah, another green this week, so the green arrows keep on rolling. Sorry, Paddy. I mean, I know.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you because you're flying. What's your reward, man? Again, what are you up to?
2.6k.
Jesus, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's. I'm getting a bit dizzy now. At this stage, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I better tank my whole season. But yeah, no, similar enough. We have fairly similar teams. My star man of the last few weeks continued. He's good for. Oh, you know it, baby. Another clean sheet for the man himself, and Pinnock, Trippier, Arspalaga, all blanking. Saka blanking, Matoma blanking, Fernandes blanking. We'll touch on him again in a minute because I'm interested in what you said. Rashford did get his assist, but yeah, all about the forward line this week. Kane with a lovely 9-point return, Watkins with 7, and Haaland captain. So a pretty, I suppose, template-y kind of week. Nothing outside of Mings that's really kind of made any waves. I think, to be honest with you, looking at the week as a whole, it was the likes of, I suppose, if you had held on to Martinelli and cheeky Villa clean sheet here and there, they were the kind of the real difference makers this week. But even then, not massive. I suppose also anyone that kind of went with the Rashford captaincy over Haaland probably they've obviously dropped a few points there,
burned
a little bit. But I mean, you said it there, like it was kind of unavoidable. I think for most engaged managers at the end of game week 29, like the plan was if Haaland looks fit, Haaland comes back in. Obviously, the captaincy was a bit of a rougher decision, as it will be for a few this week, I suppose, and we'll touch on that later. But going back to what you mentioned there about Fernandes, did you see the game?
I didn't see the game, Ger.
Okay.
I did not see the game, but from what I heard, Fernandes has been sitting a little bit deep.
He has, and I think I don't feel bad having brought him in. I mean, I'm a little obviously blanket in the double game week is disappointing. And yeah, you're right. He is playing a little bit deeper, but he was, I would say, pretty unfortunate not to come out of that game with an attacking return. He had a rake.
Okay, that's good news.
Yeah, that's good news. And just, a little bit more good news is we have Eriksen back now. And we have Casemiro back, I believe, this week as well. So, I mean, even when Eriksen came on for a few minutes at the end of the Everton match, Bruno was the one that was shoved a bit more forward. He had a rake of headers for some reason. They kept getting headed chances, which he kept putting straight down the keeper's throat. No, not really looked like they were going to score, but they were decent enough chances. And yeah, he was pretty much quarterbacking the whole game. So I didn't.
Well, promising then, Ger. Promising.
Yeah, I have no intention of letting Fernandes leave my team before the double in 34.
No, and me neither. He won't be leaving my team. It's just that I have him, I feel like, for 3, and I haven't had a return in 3 games. And that's why, you just see that. It's the money. You see the money there. You don't see the player, and there's a lot tied up. And I just had heard that he was a bit deep. But now, hearing your analysis there, that gives me great promise for him. He won't be leaving my team. If anyone's leaving my team, it will be Chilwell. But we'll talk about that later. Continue on there and give us the rest of yours.
No, I'm finished with the team, but just in terms of the United assets, I mean, Fernandes is actually the least of our concerns right now. I don't know if you've gone down the Shaw route, but I'm sitting here with Shaw, and obviously the biggest talking point of the game week is Rashford's big yellow flag at the moment. We'll all be waiting on injury updates, and that a lot of what we do next week will depend on what kind of time Rashford's going to spend on the sidelines. So yeah, Fernandes, least of my problems as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, that's true as well. Rashford's going to be the big talking point, and we won't really know what's Rashford until the Ten Hag press conference, which we'll get a little glimpse into that before the match on Thursday, playing Seville. And then, of course, there's Champions League games on tonight and tomorrow night, so everything has to be taken with a pinch of salt until they're all completed, really, Ger, is that right?
Yeah, 100%, Paddy. I mean, yourself, anything can happen in a football match. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Rashford and what's going to happen, blah, 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 and then, God forbid, touch wood, Haaland goes out and breaks his leg tonight. Do you know, kind of way? So, what good's that going to do? Kind of, until it's all said and done, there's no point worrying about it. But what I would say then again for game week 32, or for game week 31, is anyone looking to free hit in 32, which anyone that held onto the chip, it seems like the majority. Now, obviously, there is a few that will be free hitting in 34, but anyone that held onto the chip, I'd imagine the majority of them will be looking to use that in game week 32. And in that regards, you can't roll a transfer this week. Do you know what I mean? You need to be making use of it.
You'd be burning too if you did.
That's the thing, and I think the man that's caught everyone's eye this week, turned a few heads. You know who I'm talking about, Paddy?
Jackie boy.
Ooh, Jackie boy. All you have to do is look at the thumbnails for any content being created over the last couple of days, and it's all Jack Grealish.
There he is. Yeah. Jack Grealish. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still scared to bring in Jack Grealish in Pep's team.
Yeah, I'm actually just going to have a quick look at the City lineup while we're recording this. But, I mean, look, he's on a very hot streak at the moment. There isn't anyone really threatening his position on the left right now. Now, that's just for the moment with Foden being out. By the time game week 34 rolls around, which is kind of why I think most people are really considering Grealish, that could have changed. Foden could be back. Who knows? But I mean, if you're just watching him play, like he's shit hot right now. And yeah, that just, you know what that means? It means that he's 100% going to be rested at the weekend, and he does start tonight too. So yeah. But yeah, he's the name on everyone's the tip of everyone's tongue at the moment, and yeah, I'm all for it. I've seen a few naysayers kind of talking down the importance of Grealish, and I completely get where they're coming from. I do think the likes of KDB offers slightly more secure X-Mins, as the common parlance is, but yeah, I think just the fact that there'll be a few people hanging around with Saka's, you'll have your James Madisons, even, as I said, the yellow carded Rashford. It seems like a fairly handy swap for a lot of teams.
Yeah, to do the Rashford to Grealish,
especially
if we get the bad news, but I'd be very reluctant to get rid of Rashford as well at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're kind of we're kind of lucky in a way, Paddy, that like game week 32 blank. So United weren't playing in 32 anyway, and then they double in 34. So if it's a couple of weeks, then it won't be too much of a struggle to hold on to him. As I said, the fact that you can sit out 32, you'd be free hitting, or he wouldn't have been playing anyway. So you can get away with that week. You're getting a freebie. If we get very unlucky and he's out for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, the end of the season, then yeah, I mean, I'd be more annoyed as a United fan than I am as an FPL manager,
Yeah, 100%. So I guess that that would be the main. He's going to be the main talking point for Rashford replacement at the moment. If you'll expect to see and price rises on Jack Grealish in the coming days.
I think Rashford's already taken a drop in price over the last few days. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty sure I saw a tweet going around. He's dropped. I can actually afford to take another drop on it because of whatever way I bought him in. The price structure is like, I don't lose money if he drops another 0.1. I've already lost that. So I'm happy to sit there out and sit till the Friday pressers or whatever and see what the story is. I'm actually a little bit more irritated by Luke Shaw because obviously he delivered 0 in that double game week 29. He's out now again. He missed obviously the match there at the weekend, which United kept a clean sheet in, so missing those points. And I feel like that's just another. I took a hit for him as well, and it'll just be probably another hit to get rid of him. Yeah. So it's kind of compounding. The transfer's going to...
It's an 8-pointer?
Yeah, it might be. Now, as I said, maybe...
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, maybe he's back. But there's a few flags floating around the place. But I think all in all, the next couple of weeks, like for me and for the majority of managers, especially those with, looking to free hit in 32, we're all looking at 34 and kind of getting our teams ready for 34. And I think that means then switching back to City and kind of looking at what City assets we want. Like the conversation in the next few weeks is going to be, it's probably going to be pretty premium midfielder heavy because you're going to have a lot of people talking about Salah. He had a record number of shots, or maybe it's just a season record number of shots there against Arsenal on Sunday. So you'll be a lot. Now he did also miss a penalty, so who knows what that's done for his penalty taking duties, but banged in a goal, probably could have got at least another one outside of the penalty. You've got himself, you'll have KDB, and then you've got the make-weights, the likes of the Harry Kane, and he's just delivered another 9-pointer. So again, like, he's continuing that crazy run of form. They have a beautiful fixture this week at home to Bournemouth, so if Harry goes out and does what Harry does and gets another 9-pointer, then it'll be tough for a lot of people, I think, come game week 34 to make their mind up. I think that's going to be the next big decision for managers,
because you can't have them all, and
no, you can't.
So it's going to be a tough one. And I was just looking there as well at this Rashford flag, and I was talking. A lot of managers were burned by Martinelli, and Martinelli has continued as amazing form, and that surely is another good replacement for Rashford going forward as well.
Yep, no, you're 100%. I mean, like, I'm one of those managers that jumped off the Martinelli bandwagon. You know, you had to make decisions, and so I had Saka, I had Odegaard, and I had Martinelli. Saka's on penalties. I think Odegaard is kind of involved in almost everything, and he's on a lot of set plays as well. So Martinelli being a slightly more, rotation heavy risk with Trossard sitting in the wings and with Jesus back. He felt like the safest Arsenal asset to drop, but yeah, a massive return there at the weekend. He's continued his flying form all season, and it'll be interesting to see what Arsenal assets people look at in game week 32, especially those free hitting, because you obviously have you got a free roll of the dice there. Do you kind of go with someone like left field, like a Gabriel Jesus, who I think did he get 2 goals the weekend, or maybe it was last weekend, but he's hit the ground running since coming back.
Yeah.
Do you know yourself though? Whatever Arsenal asset you go into game week 32, it'll be the other 2 that get the points. Do you know, that kind of way?
Oh, bastards! Yeah, totally bastards.
I'm here.
Yeah, no, and Tim. Yeah,
no, I'm just saying here. I'm here sitting flapping my gums about free hitting in 32. Just to clarify, you're also.
I'm free hitting in 32 as well. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, to have a bit of fun. Just sitting there, wondering about your Shaw, and a lot of people will be in the Shaw boat as well. Have you any replacements lined up for Luke Shaw, or off the top of your head, that could slot in there?
See, I think the advantage of using the bench boost in game week 29 and getting it out of the way with still 9 game weeks to go is the fact that you can then start turning some of your assets into fodder. So, like, I'm sitting there now with two goalkeepers, Kepa 4.5, 4.6, and Rhea 4.5, 4.6, whatever price they are. I don't need 9+ million tied up in goalkeepers. One of them could become Steele, who I think he could be 3.9 still. Maybe he's gone up to 4 million now. But either way, Areca doubles coming up. I think Brighton have the most fixtures between now and the end of the season, and that kind of leaves you with that extra 0.7, 0.8 million in the bank. And I kind of view in Shaw the same way. If news comes out that he's basically going to miss the double in 34, then I haven't really looked at specific options, but I would maybe then be going, okay, I turn him into a Lewis Dunk. I don't go with Steele. I pick another week to do that, we'll say. And I think there's a rake of, the doubles, like with Brighton offering cheap routes into the defence, you've got to be looking at the likes of City. Again, Shaw 5.2 million. I think Ake is sitting there at 5.
Wow.
So not like a pretty straightforward swap there from Shaw to Ake is on the cards as well.
Well, look at me. I'm sitting here with Chilwell, 6 million. And here looking at my defence, I've got so many good cheap defenders. I have Gabriel, Botman, Trippier, and Henry. There's so much money in that Chilwell. It just didn't come off for me, that pick. I know. I think you warned me off it as well, but I just went on ahead. He was playing from as well. He was playing really good, and he was getting into the right places. And I think he actually had a goal disallowed, and in one of his, since I've had him. And now that Lampard's in, and his first game, he was dropped, and I was like, I warned you off the Chilwell transfer on the basis that you'd have to take a hit to bring Haaland in, which you did. Yeah, that's right.
So that would he did look absolutely lethal for the last 3 or 4 game weeks. How he didn't return. I don't think he even got a clean sheet. How he didn't even return once is beyond me. He did have a goal ruled out. He did have a couple of shots hit the post. He did put a couple of balls, on people's head. And yeah, as I said, I think as a non-Chilwell owner, I got extremely fortunate, and I was going to be prepping myself to, stay behind the sofa again this week. But yeah, Lampard with the fucking curveball, Chilwell dropped. I won't lie, I chuckled, but I would be fuming. Oh my God, it
was terrible.
Fuming.
I was fuming 6 million, and then I was like, I looked at him, he had 0 points, and I was like, who's going to be my first sub? I was kind of hoping it was Henry.
Yeah.
who's got 5. But I had Andreas with 2. But then I saw that he actually came on, and I think he got booked as well on top of it all, like to really rub the salt in the wound. So fuck you, Chilwell. Also, I'm just question. See, for the big double in 34, have Chelsea a double in that? They do.
Let me just double check. I should know these,
Yeah, just get that up there, because then you see, because we have this free hit, it feels like we have this little like we don't have to panic about getting rid of players like you with Shaw, me maybe with Chilwell, with Rashford, because you can free hit them out in 32. It's only the next week, which your transfer probably this week will be building towards your 34. Yeah. So with the free hit in 32, you break. So whatever players you have that are flagged or you don't like, you can actually just let them have. They have a free pass basically that week, so it takes a wee bit of pressure off getting rid of them right away. So I might even let Chilwell sit one more week, and if he has the double in 34, who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't have a double in 34. He's actually got a horrific away match to Arsenal. So
he's gone. He's gone this weekend. But that could be for any other player, though. That it still stands for what I said there.
It does,
just not with Chilwell.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea have a nasty fixture this week as well. Brighton at home. I fully expect Brighton to get something out of that game, considering the form they've been on.
Yeah.
They do blank in 32, so obviously, not a worry for free hitters. They do have a lovely fixture in 33 at home to Brentford. Brentford don't travel well, but what good is that if Chilwell's not in the starting lineup?
Exactly. No, that's my transfer out this week. I hate it too. It's a boring defensive transfer, but to be fair, I'm happy with my 3 strikers at the moment. My midfield, do you know what, is not fit to play. Like, I'm not going to get rid of him. I'm going to keep him because I've got that free hit. And looking at the guy that I bought, Pereira, he's got some lovely fixtures coming up against Everton, Leeds, and Villa. So
he does, and he has a double in 34, but it's a nasty double.
Yeah.
And he's at home.
But I mean,
he
was cheap. He was my enabler to bring in Haaland, and the fixtures aren't too bad looking for him.
I'll pull no punches. I didn't know what your transfer was till you just told me there at the start of the show.
Yeah.
I think you fucked up. I do. I think McAllister has a double in game week 34. He's on penalties for Brighton. Yeah. They have a tough one this week. You obviously can blank. You have free hit in 32, but then Forest and then home Wolves and home United in the double, and then home Everton. So to me, I think. But look, this is hindsight. Obviously, it's easy to go.
Yeah, I took out a player that's doubling in 34. I get you when people are actually booking them in.
No, but you did get Haaland.
I was looking at my midfield. I was looking at my midfield, right? And who to help bring in Haaland? Suppose Chilwell.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that's with hindsight. It's very easy to go, I didn't.
I was looking at that Wolves game, you see. New manager bounce, Chilwell. Didn't think that new manager bounce would be fucking beat by Wolves, who've been fucking terrible, haven't they?
Yeah,
and then,
I mean...
I know, look, like 1-0, and I thought Chilwell, who had been quite exciting the couple of weeks previous. So I was like, right, I'm holding for the Wolves game. And then I was looking at my other midfielders, and I had Rashford, Fernandes, Matoma, Saka. I don't know. It was hard. And I didn't want to get rid of any of my strikers. I suppose the defenders would have been the ones to look at, maybe. But I don't know. A double Newcastle. Look, I know. I did probably get rid of the wrong guy.
I think you just kind of, as you said, you saw the fact you needed to make money. Pereira's a decent budget enabler, has been all season, and boom, boom, boom. As I said, no, your season's not going to be defined on one fucking transfer.
I know.
And it's easy to sit here after the Chelsea lineup and go, oh yeah, Chilwell. Like obviously Chilwell, maybe Gabriel. Like that's where you take your whatever you needed to get Haaland back in. I'm sure it was only a half a mil or a mil or something. But it's easy to sit back after it's all said and done and say, oh yeah, you fucked up. I mean, we could all do that. We could do that till the fucking cows come home.
Yeah, but I fucked up.
But you fucked up, and
I did. Yeah. I can see it myself now. Like, but I hated getting rid of McAllister.
Yeah, I mean, like he did technically score this weekend. It was ruled off for a handball, but he did let the ball hit him and go directly into the net. Did you watch the Spurs match?
Spurs. No, I didn't see the Spurs match. The only match I this week was the Liverpool and Arsenal game, which I thought was brilliant. Had everything in it. Like,
did it sway you on any kind of fantasy level?
Not particularly. Like Martinelli, just want him back. I feel Pool. I thought that they were just going to be standard, get beat until Arsenal woke the crowd up at home with a couple of nasty challenges on Trent, and then once the crowd came alive, kind of spurred them on a bit. I've seen Salah as well. Like you said, Salah could have had a goal even before the penalty.
Yeah, well,
he had a couple of
he did have
that chance down that. He had that where I just thought Salah last season wouldn't have missed that. I just thought Salah instinct wasn't there as much. He could be coming back in time for the big double.
See, that's what I mean. That's going to be the conversation. It's like KDB, Salah, especially like for the likes of myself and yourself who are sitting there with Fernandes. Like, I've made my bed. I'm not going to be getting rid of Bruno. Maybe
me neither. He's got Nottingham Forest next, and he's got the double and Brentford, Newcastle, Southampton. No, the fixtures are good for United, and I'm the same. I'm not getting rid of Kane. I said this podcast when I brought him in. I says that's him for the end of the season for me.
For Harry Kane.
And that was maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. I says I just looked at his run. I was like, I'm just keeping him for the run.
Do you stand by that?
I probably will keep him for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, like, I think just wanting to attack the double in 34, and then like Spurs fixtures. So obviously a lovely.
But not for the like free hits and stuff like that, sure.
But the free hit's 32, which is fine because they're away to Newcastle. But I mean, if you look at Spurs' next 4 matches, okay, obviously a lovely home match against Bournemouth this week, which to me is the perfect time to say, ta-ta to Harry Kane. But after that, we'll obviously be, a lot of managers will be free hitting in 32. Jesus, I've said that so many times this episode already. But away to Newcastle in 32, at home to United in 33, and then away to Liverpool in 34. Like, I don't want any of that, personally. I think I'll be looking at downgrading Harry, getting a few bob out of him, and then, going either the Salah or the KDB route, assuming I'm obviously not going to be able to do both of them. So I won't lie, I'm not nailing myself to the cross saying Harry stays. Like, look, the fixtures pick up again, but it's easy bring him back in, do a little hokey cokey at some stage. But for 34, do you really want 11 or whatever price Harry Kane is, like 11 million in your squads in a double game week away to Liverpool? In a Spurs team that have been shocking, and we're shocking again.
Yeah, I was going to argue and say, but Liverpool have been shocking, but Spurs have been fucking brutal as well. And like, it's probably miracles that Kane's even getting returns in that team. But no, you've made me turn my head to a few fixtures. Like, they're horrible fixtures for Spurs, and I could do so much better with that money into the team. So you know what? I'm not going to nail myself to that mask, but I have held them now for quite a while. Like, so those 2 fixtures, though, we'll see when the time. Sure, God knows what'll happen to my team by that stage. But no, definitely observe more. Yeah,
ideal scenario for me here. Probably, again, obviously this is 3 or 4 weeks down the line, but I wasn't a massive fan of getting rid of Tony this week, but needs must for the Nordic meat bag. So
why won't he just get that fucking yellow card and just let us breathe?
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? Like,
so I believe Brentford have, I think it's 32 fixtures, and I'm assuming they're up to date based on the fact that they don't seem to have a double left. So that means if say he gets booked this weekend, absolutely perfect. Gets booked away to Wolves.
And we got away with it, didn't we? We got away with it last week, kind of.
By the skin of our teeth.
Missed a fucking penalty, scored a goal, missed a penalty. Oh my God, he ended up like that. I was like,
it's only FPL. It's only FPL that you'll like the 1 week where the vast majority of managers did Tony to Haaland. anyone that decided, no, you know what, home to Newcastle, decent fixture, I'm sticking with it. Being patient, stuck to their guns.
And big balls. Big fucking balls to do that, like.
Yeah, and they got unlucky. I mean, like, he did score. He missed his...
He got fucking road.
Yeah. I mean, what did... Like, his first... the first penalty miss. Of course, it's the week everyone shifts him out that he misses his first penalty. But he also had the ball in the back of the net. I think he had it in a second time, but it was VAR'd out. And, I mean, to me, I've no problem looking to bring him back in. And they have a sexy... single fixture. I know it's a single, but I don't have a wild card anymore, so every transfer's got to count in 34. So if you were looking, and he's served his 2-match ban, which I'm hoping he'll have done by then, in one way, either he's served the ban or he's gotten past the 32 match limit, then there's a bit of a make weight for a bit of cash, and a home fixture against Forest in 34. Brentford fans will be licking their lips at that.
Yeah, that's tasty. And do you know who I've got a real itch that I want to get? And I know you're going to hate it probably. But yeah, most definitely. Isak. I want to get him in my team, Ger.
I mean, look.
I'm looking at Watkins and I'm thinking, when does his fixtures turn a little bit nasty? So I might grab him and get him in for Watkins. But I mean, untouchable at the moment, Watkins for me. But Isak there playing along with Wilson, and I don't know. I like him.
I like him too. I think. A couple of weeks ago,
now,
it is. Yeah, it's madness this stage because I think Newcastle have. It's a nice fixture in 34. You're right. Maybe like it is that. That's one of the options in 34. Like we talk about maybe dropping Kane to a Tony, but yeah, maybe a Kane to an Isak, especially if he keeps up kind of the minutes and stuff. I'm not as concerned about rotation as I probably should be. I feel like he's ahead of Wilson in the starting lineup. I mean, that's not concrete or anything, but I feel like we're going to see maybe Wilson kind of coming off the bench. Of course, he'll start the odd one, but Newcastle aren't in Europe or anything. So, I see Isak being pretty nailed on for most games. And yeah, it's a nice run. I think you're right. In the sense of like, when does Aston Villa's fixture
differential as well? Like,
it is. Well, I mean, will it be by the time everyone will probably yourself every week there's a.
I suppose talking about it now they'll be piling on. Should have said nothing.
You're a trendsetter, Paddy.
Yeah, should have said nothing. Cut that out. Cut that sort of segment out.
Yeah, no bother.
Yeah, for me.
I'll put it in all the other editing I do.
Suck a dick. Right, Ger, tell me now, let's just look at this fucking, I know, hey, by the way, is there a free hit in 32, Ger? Do you want to say that again? But by the way, C for 31.
Yes.
Let's just go nail into 31 here. By the way, Chilwell, where am I going for Chilwell, do you think, or?
Well.
Yeah, look.
You see.
There's no one really there.
No, you don't look to United. You look to Brighton and you look to City. I think.
Yeah, I want him down cheap. I want the money.
Yeah. So Chilwell, for me, I think if I'm going towards City defence, it'll be the likes of, as I mentioned, Ake. He seems to be guaranteed on the left. It's only himself, I think, really going for that position on the left. I know John Stones can kind of play there a little bit, but it seems to be pretty much nailed down to him now. So I'm heading straight towards an Ake. If I need more money, I'll drop him down to an Estupiñán or a Dunk. Dunk getting a goal this week, which is kind of funny because I'd say a lot of managers would have either benched him or kind of jumped off of one of their Brighton assets. Maybe not. Maybe it's just you, Paddy. I don't know. But I know I was looking at Dunk and I had him in for the game week 29. So seeing him score this week was just like, that's the -4 for Shaw, by the way. Like, it was, you know what I mean? So,
oh my God, that's where you could have went.
Yeah, if I just zigged instead of zagging.
It's a brutal game. It's a brutal game. Like, you remember my friend I'm always telling you about his wild bad luck and stuff?
Yeah.
Brian. Well, Brian
the Casual.
Yeah, Brian the Casual. Yeah. Brian, he's going to be listening to this. I'm going to get a phone call. Brian's transfer, Mike, was, I think he got rid of Shaw or something. And he brought in someone else. I can't remember exactly, but I know he brought in Delo. And when he seen the lineup, like, no, he knew Shaw was out or whatever then, so he had Malacia and fucking Wan-Bissaka. Like, those were the two that started ahead. So unlucky, Brian. And the guy who's leading my fucking mini league, right? And his name is Henry. I have to give him a shout. He's a listener as well, so well done, Henry. He's up there, I think.
What mini league is this?
Top 1,000. It's my friend's one, like just a friend's one. Like, I must get you next year. It's $50 cup, we call it. No money's exchanged in it.
Yeah.
In case the Premier League are listening.
Leave me out of it.
But he do you know who he captained this week?
No, I don't.
Top 1,000 in the world, I think, right? And he captained fucking Madison.
Yeah, talk about like being disappointed in your Brunos and your Luke Shaws. He's also stung a lot of managers over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I think that was a brave move considering they were managerless. But he who dares wins and all that.
I know a lot of he wanted. I suppose he was just going for something different, and the Haaland news was a bit of a doubt and stuff. And we were like why wouldn't you just consolidate it? But he wants to shoot for the stars, so you fucking do that, Henry, if you're listening. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off chest and give him a wee shout out there, the two lads, because they love the pod and they're big listeners.
No, and I wish them all the best, as long as they're just not ahead of me. But
yeah, exactly.
Talking about giving a few lads a shout out, I think you know what time that is then, Paddy, do you?
That's a good segue. The mini league, yeah.
You got it in one. FPL Hangover Podcast Mini League.
All right, well, here we go. Whenever you're ready.
No, we're lucky. This has been the first mini league update in a while, isn't it? Because like the first non mid game week pod we've done in what feels like forever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you've got all the stats and deets, Paddy. Pay through it.
Yeah, I have a couple of stats. I think we'll just start off. I know usually people go into the top 10, but I want to start off with the manager of the week this week. That goes to Craig Rayner.
The top of the league.
He scored. The guy is he top of the league? I didn't even look at the top. Well, the guy who's winning the league at the moment was also the manager of the week with 75 points.
Ooh, so he went with Grealish.
Well done.
Yeah,
Mr. Rayner. And let's just see. Did he make no change at the top? He was at the top.
Yeah, and he actually already had Grealish. Oh, he wildcarded this week. There we go.
There we go. Yeah. Very good. Well done, Craig. And the biggest rise in the league goes to Jonathan Doherty, who went up 19 places this week. So well done, Jonathan. And the biggest fall is Harry Jones, who dropped like a stone, 45 places. Best transfers this week, this is always a favourite of mine, goes to Cahill Byrne, our mate Cahill.
Mm-hmm.
He netted himself 15 extra points from his transfers this week. So well done, Cahill.
I don't even have to look, because when you were talking about your mate there who went for Dallo, Kyle actually sprung into my mind, because he went with the Zag, which was Malacia, who I believe got a 9-point return. So like,
wow,
clean sheet and max bones.
Sure, fucking Cal, feel like one day he'd go up. And the worst transfer this week goes to Goodmond Aganettes, net -5. Just a couple of others, because we're so far into the season. This is a little bit interesting. The most transfers this season goes to Adam O'Toole, who made 148 transfers this season.
Fucking hell.
Now, I don't know where Adam O'Toole is. I don't know where the fuck he is in the league. But the least transfers made this season is Harry Cooper, who's only made 27. Our friend Cameron North has got the highest, 4.8 million. Who the fuck has he got in his team? And Andrew Mercer has got the least with 101.2. And the best that we have in the whole league, like the cream of the crop from their all-time rank, is yourself. Well done.
That really just goes to show how much the rest of the league needs to pick their shit up.
So there you go. The top 10 then. Craig Rayner, Ger, my Ger Bear, you're in second. Richard.
And just to clarify again, sorry to cut across you, Paddy, but Craig, you will not be getting a prize if you don't beat me. It's as simple as that. It's not. You're not going to get a second place fucking prize.
No.
You either win the league or you get nothing.
Right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Richard Wenginger, third. Emil Sidlick, fourth. 80 Friel, fifth. Adam Sands, sixth. Tony McBride, neighbour of me own down the road, seventh from Tony. Paddy Pa, eighth, and Paul O'Gorman, ninth, and Paul Ryan, 10th. So well done. That's the league there, and good luck to everyone in it.
Yeah. Congrats.
Except for you.
Except for me. It's going to save us postage if I win, Paddy.
You're right. Fucking do it for the postage,
I'm doing it for
man.
the postage. There's the t-shirt.
Do it for the postage.
Do it for the
postage.
But
that.
congrats. Not congrats because you've won nothing, but fair play to everyone. Still smashing it. As I said, there is a couple of top ranks there up at the higher echelons of the table. So yeah, it's by no means a kind of a runaway league, and still all to play for. But that's the league out of the way. One final topic before we hang up our telephones.
Maybe two topics.
Maybe two.
Wait, is yours like a closure one?
Not really. Just a regular that we
ahead.
usually do. If you fancy it. Captaincy?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I was going to say. We need to recap this game week 31. At the moment, now, this is my bus team captain. Like, you know, the minute you actually the next week and you pick the captain, I have Haaland captain.
Yeah.
That was my no-brainer pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But looking at this team, there's a few options, really.
Okay.
I mean, you could have Harry Kane.
Home to Bournemouth?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bournemouth are fighting. I know teams that are fighting, they go down swinging sometimes, but
Bournemouth
it's a captaincy.
It is a captaincy, only based on Harry Kane's historic evidence. But I mean, Bournemouth are playing well, and Spurs are so poor right now that if Bournemouth got something off them at the weekend, it wouldn't shock me. But yeah, you're right. It's a fair captaincy shout.
Uh-huh. Either of the United lads, like Rashford, more so if he was fit. Nottingham Forest. So that's a captaincy option.
Yeah, I would say it's away, but yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's away. Saka maybe away to West Ham.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout, especially being on penalties, and Arsenal will be looking to, like, they're going to be fight every game. I mean, not that it probably doesn't make too much of a difference to the results of the weekend, but you know, the league is, I think, technically back in City's hands. So yeah, Arsenal will be looking for something. That's a good shout away to West Ham.
I've started at the top. I'm working my way down here of captaincy options. So the final one then, the man is on form. He's at home. It's Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, Aston
Villa. But I mean, you'd be like really going all out for differential points there.
2 words, 3 if you don't use a hyphen. Early kickoff.
Yeah, cursed. So that's me at the moment as well. I have my 3 bench tiers: Andreas, Chilwell, and Botman. Starting Trippier, Henry, and Gabriel. That's my only dilemma: is the defense. The midfield picks itself, and the strikers are the same.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your captaincy? You on obviously Haaland?
Yeah. I mean, like, last week was the week where you were, you'd hum and haw, and I think you were justified, not you, but the royal you, was justified to kind of think twice because of the, the Champions League midweek and the coming back from injury. All valid points. Yeah. Rashford at home to Everton as well. Delicious fixture. Early kickoff, but yeah. So last week was the week where I think you were entitled to a little bit of doubt when it came to Haaland, but Jesus Christ, like, I mean,
Leicester shit.
Leicester.
And do you see who the brothers? Craig Shakespeare, Tim Sherwood,
Dean Smith,
and Dean Smith.
John Terry. Yeah.
Like John. I mean, like, come on.
I mean, look,
it's Haaland captain for me.
Maybe they can tighten it up a little bit, but yeah, I can't look past him. I mean, every time he touches the ball, it seems to go into the back of the net. Do you know?
Yeah.
So I mean, 60 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, it's Haaland all the week long, as far as I'm concerned.
Right, here's one for you, because we have the same goalkeepers. We've both got Kepa and Raya. Who would you start in the two goalkeepers? Because that's something that's definitely a shout. You go Raya against Wolves, or would you start Kepa against Brighton?
Well, Brighton at home for Chelsea, I don't foresee a clean sheet there, but I also have Pinnock for Brentford, so I don't want to double up. I don't like putting, unless it's
and I've got Henry.
Yeah, so I'm at the moment, my bus team is it's got Kepa in goals and it's got Pinnock starting. I might switch that to Raya in goals and double up on the Newcastle defense, but I'm saying that I have Watkins there, and I don't know how great Newcastle's defense is away from home, personally. So I'm happy to spread the love a little bit.
Yeah, that's a big one, because I've got like two Newcastle defenders as well, but I'm playing one because we've got Watkins. If you do the double and then
you're hoping for your forward to score as well, you know, I hate that.
It's fucked.
Yeah, I think like that's one of my. Sorry, Paddy, go on.
No, you're going ahead.
I think that's one of my kind of FPL kind of personal little rules, is like, obviously you want to, you know, hashtag play it your own way and stuff, but like, if I can, you know, enjoy rooting for my striker, I'll always sacrifice the defense for that. Do you know, like, just rooting for him, not like, you know, I need him to score and blah blah. It's just like, if I want to watch the match, and it's the 12:30 match, I think we just looked at it, so I'm definitely going to be watching that, and I don't want to be hoping for a fucking clean sheet, especially because I have Mings as well, so it would technically be a 0-0.
Only a psychopath would play double defense and Watkins.
And I don't think
a flat earther.
A flat earther, exactly. And I don't think Villa have scored. I'm pretty sure Villa have scored in every match. Like, I've definitely read it somewhere. I'm assuming it's still true. Villa have scored in every match since Emery is, went into the manager's position. So, I mean, that's another, you know, feather in the hat of anyone looking to smash Newcastle.
Bench defense. One of their Newcastle.
Yeah, I just don't like doubling up on defenders. I mean, Shaw, hopefully there's a bit of positive news, because if I'd be starting him ahead of Pinnock then, and then I can play maybe Raya. I suppose the question is, like, Wolves away for Brentford, or Brighton at home to Chelsea, or Chelsea at home to Brighton, should I say?
I think Raya's the pick.
Yeah, but again, Brentford aren't great away, so yeah. I mean, I'll obviously know a bit more. Should know on us.
Something to ponder,
exactly. And then you'll have the Mitoma and March choice again this week. So a lot of managers that had that choice in 30 would have benched. I saw the majority of managers bench in March. I did so myself. Playing Mitoma, I just think Mitoma looks like, he's on a different level. And he did have the ball in the back of the net, ruled out, and he did get taken down for a penalty that for some reason wasn't given in a ridiculous moment of madness for VAR again. It's just, so that would have been another assist and a McAllister goal, or McAllister penalty anyway.
So you have March, do you?
I do, yeah.
Well, then there's a perfect guy to, like, if you did get bad news about Rashford, like if he's out for a game, you could just easily bench him for March.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, I'm not. If it's all about how long he's out for, and I'm hearing some shitty rumors that it's going to be a bit. No, I don't know how true.
Yeah, I heard the season as well.
Yeah,
but then did he not post something himself today or something? Some kind of message, cryptic message, like he's okay or something.
Back from the dead.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does an Easter themed.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it, but I did hear those rumors, so I'm kind of fingers crossed and toes crossed that that's just a rumor. But yeah, all in all, for me,
we'll know more anyway very soon.
We will indeed. Are we ready to wrap it up, sir?
Well, yeah, I think we are indeed. Yeah, we can wrap it up.
All right. Where can all of the millions find you, Paddy?
You can get me at FPL Viking _ on Twitter, the Viking Dippers on Instagram, and that's the main ones.
What more do you need? What more do you need?
Where can we get the pod? That was the main one. Where can we get the pod?
You can get us on Twitter at FPL Hangover, the usual spot. Reach out. I'll be able to pick up the phone. And if you do want to, maybe indulge in the written words, email fplhangover@gmail.com. But most importantly, make sure if you enjoyed what you listened to, and as I said every week, even if you didn't enjoy it, and you've gotten this far, hit the like, hit subscribe, share it with a friend, retweet the tweet, like the tweet. I don't know. It all helps. And
give us a rating as well. It helps everyone find it.
It does, yeah. I don't know what's gone on since our podcast host has been bought out by Spotify. So I need to look into that, probably not until pre-season. But there is the small matter of the FPL Hangover Awards to contend with before the season ends.
Oh, yeah.
So keep your ears and eyes peeled for that. We'll be throwing out a few polls online and stuff. So yeah, if you want to vote and get involved, you'll find us. You'll find it all on the Twitter stuff. Paddy, have you any parting words of wisdom before I say good luck?
I don't tonight, unfortunately. I'm going to rush off now after we get off this, pour myself a nice Guinness, and watch Bayern Munich stuff City.
I shall join you in spirit. Okay, we'll wrap it up there, folks. Enjoy Game Week 31, and most importantly, God bless.